Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and we are having fun here today. It's a brisk morning here in Bloomington, 38 degrees, but you know what? It is hot in studio, and that stock market is also hot. But you know what else is hot, Al? Cryptocurrencies. That is on fire. But, Al, if you look at the price chart, coming down from those all-time highs right now, so some more buying opportunities potentially for people.
Right.
And that is what we talk about. That is what we teach at Online Trading Academy, is how to utilize price charts to make smart investing decisions and do that comfortably with confidence. If you need help with making smarter investing decisions, we do these investing classes every single day virtually. You can just text the word invest to the number 484848. You're going to receive a link back, which is actually otamin.com. That's OTAMINN.com. Just pick a date for one of these classes, virtually 45 minutes, nice and easy. You can do them from the comfort of your lazy boy. Maybe during the football game tomorrow. Actually, no Vikings, I don't think, tomorrow.
No,
it must be a bye week.
It's a bye week.
When you actually get set up for this class, we're going to give you the financial quick start kit. If you're brand new or not sure how the markets work, that'll actually help you get started right away. And how you get started, Al, is how I ended that last segment, is by having a financial plan. It's a personal financial blueprint, right? Where are you at right now? Where do you want to go? Every business has a business plan, what they're going to be doing, how they're going to get there, and the steps within there. The same thing in investing and trading. You have to have a plan on how to make smart investing decisions. And I was actually teaching a class last week, and we were talking a little bit about financial freedom. And that looks a little bit different for each person, but everybody is striving for that. But some people just aren't on track, or they don't know the right steps to get there. So let's talk about some of those steps. What are some of those steps to have a personal financial plan to make smart investing decisions within your retirement accounts?
Yeah, well, the first step really is coming into one of these classes, and then we can work with you. We can sit down with you and talk about what your goals are. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And how you get there may be totally different for you than it is for somebody else. And that's the important thing, is to be able to identify what is right for you. How are you going to get from where you are now to where you want to be in 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 20 years? How you do that most effectively and most efficiently, that's part of a plan. That should be part of your statement, your goals in that plan. But the plan also includes several things. It includes the use of that core strategy that we talked about, a rules-based strategy that you're going to use no matter what you are investing in, what your time horizon is. This is one way of kind of simplifying things, and by taking your thinking out of it, because you're probably not as experienced as somebody who worked on the floor of the board of the Chicago Board of Options or the Chicago Mercantile Exchange for 25 or 30 years. These are the guys that put together this core strategy. And if you follow those steps, it really just takes you down again to that point where, yeah, this is a good trade, or no, this is not a good trade. That's what helps you to develop the confidence. But how would you also like to be able to not be successful the majority of the time, but still be profitable? You can lose as much as 75% of the time and still just break even if you know what you're doing, if you have the right reward to risk ratio. And that is the most important thing. What we show our students, and this is being conservative, is how to look at a potential trade that has the potential for a minimum of a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio.
It's just maximizing your capital and utilizing the right ratios. That way you don't have to be right all the time, which is all it is.
And that's the key. You do not have to be right. In most professions, you have to be right the majority of the time to be successful.
Well, what if you're a weatherman?
You don't have to be right. You don't even have to show up.
Nothing against weathermen,
but
you know what?
How about a pilot or a
educated
surgeon?
guesses, right?
Yeah, those guys have a plan that they follow that they know works because of their experience. So that's part of the plan. But the other thing that should be part of your plan is the correct asset for you to use. Which is the right one? Is it stock? Is it the futures market? Is it the foreign exchange market or the options market, or a combination of those? Those are things that, first of all, you need to identify and then get the education knowing how to use them with the core strategy.
And just as Al was explaining, with the right asset to be in, you want to do that within your retirement accounts as well. In these investing classes, we cover the right assets to be into them. And when we say assets, that's either the right stocks, the different options positions. Maybe you're in futures contracts or in some currencies, right?
Sure.
So it's how to be properly diversified and just doing that with more consistency. And that's what it's all about, is consistency, but you need that consistent strategy for these great volatile markets. This volatility that we're seeing right now is phenomenal for retail investors. It's the institutions are moving these markets, and as we kind of talked about this whole show, is how to find that institutional order flow, which is buying and selling on a price chart and anticipating where they're doing that. And that's the great thing about our strategy is it's designed to teach you to follow those institutions. So if you want to text the word invest to the number 484848 for this investing class to learn more about being in the right assets in your retirement accounts, you're going to receive a text back with a link. That link is actually otamin.com. That's otaminn.com. So if you want to do that, see if you're at your computer, just do that now. But when you get set up for one of these classes virtually or even here in Bloomington, you're going to receive a financial quick start kit to help you get started right away. There's actually some cryptocurrency foundations courses in there. So if you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, that's also in that quick start kit. Now, Al, we talk to a lot of people and they say, well, how much time does it take to trade and invest? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? How much time does it take you to put your shoes on? You dictate that, right? You can do it quickly or it can take a while, right? So that's why you need a strategy that's designed to basically make your investments based on the time that you do have, because I'm assuming most of our listeners work during the day.
Great.
Talk real quick. I know we're getting close to the end of the show here. Give me a couple steps on placing a trade and how quickly that can actually happen.
Well, the number one thing, again, is to identify the right price.
Okay.
And by knowing how to identify that on a price chart, read a price chart, which is what we teach you, very much like a radiologist reads an x-ray. We teach you how to read a price chart so you can identify, number one, where is a big institution? Where are they being active? Because that's who you want to follow. The best trade that is possible is going to be at the turning point in price. What causes that turn in price? It's institutional activity.
What's another step?
Big smart money. And then it's being able to place a trade. That's where our core strategy and our Click platform comes in. This Click platform is going to take you down all of the steps that you need to go through to place a trade, to make sure you're protected, and to make sure you have a profit target identified that's a realistic target, again, based on where the institutions are now getting out of a position. So it's anticipating based on something that we know is more than likely going to happen based on what the institutions are showing us.
And what's that final step?
The final step is to place a trade.
Exactly. It's just clicking the button.
That's actually,
remember,
that's true.
everything right now is all electronic. So if you have a finger and if you have a mouse or a mouse pad on a computer, that is how you place that trade. And as Al is talking about these nice and quick, easy steps, it's following those steps. But that's what we teach you. That's what we start to walk you down that path in these investing classes that we do virtually. We do these in our center in Bloomington as well. Actually, Al teaches these. I mean, these are phenomenal classes to learn about the markets, stocks, options, futures, Forex, how to make smart investing decisions. But you know what? You can't do that if you don't do anything. You got to take action.
Correct.
That action, basically, all you got to do is text. If you have a phone, text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, you'll get a link back. I'm going to walk you through this. That link has a text back. That link is otamin.com. So if you're at your computer, just go to otamin.com. That's otaminn.com. And that'll get you into our webpage. And then you can select a couple dates. We have several per day, actually. If you're in center, if you want to come into the Bloomington office, we have them on Wednesdays. We have these on Saturdays as well. And Al teaches these. I teach it as well. And we walk you through those steps to get into investments, how to pick the right stocks. What are some of the stocks you can get into? And by the way, if you have questions about the markets, bring these questions here in. Even in these virtual classes are actually live. So we're coming to your home virtually, and these are live classes. So bring any questions that you have. Say, hey, I have a 401k, but I just don't know what I can do with that. Bring that in. We can walk you through those steps if you want to self-direct, as we were talking about in the third segment. If you want more control of your accounts, how to do that is basically just being more comfortable and saying, you know what, now is the time, because there's no better time than now. Markets are phenomenal, great opportunities. So just call 952-814-4410 if you want to come right here in Bloomington. When you do that, we're going to give you a financial quick start kit. In this kit, there'll be some steps and topics to help you get started right away. Al, we've had a lot of great content today. We had a lot of people text in, and looks like a few just go straight to the website and make it easy. So there's been a lot of tips today. Let's hear that OTA tip of the week.
Well, you mentioned time, and now is the right time to do something. What we found is that the majority of the Online Trading Academy students wish they would have started earlier. You can avoid having to say that by starting now. So a lot of you might be thinking that you've missed out on the big opportunities and it's too late. Well, look, we're in a global economic environment that's going to provide many, many more of these big opportunities. There's always going to be a bull market somewhere. Don't worry about not being successful all the time either. You don't have to be. You won't be successful 100% of the time, but if you don't try, you will be unsuccessful 100% of the time.
Yeah, doing nothing is that definition of poor, passing over opportunities regularly. If you've listened to the show and you haven't called in or texted in, you've passed over an opportunity. Well, guess what? That first step is yours. Text the word INVEST to the number 484848 or call 952-814-4410. Same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.